Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to log custom events into the MIKROS SDK. Before we get started, you should already have a Unity project with the MIKROS SDK installed and configured with an app game ID and product key. Now, you can use MIKROS' log event function to track user experience and player behavior across various areas of your game, such as when a player wins a level or when a player dies. But today I will just show you how to use it on a button. In my current project, I have 6 buttons that simulate when I want an event to happen. When a button is pressed, I want MIKROS to log that event and show it in my MIKROS dashboard. So to do that, we have to create a script. I already have a script created that's just empty, and it's called MIKROS. So in your script, you want to add the namespaces MIKROS client and MIKROS client.analytics. Now I will create a function, custom events, that will be called when the button is pressed. In this function, I'll call the method MIKROS manager.instance.analyticscontroller.logEvent. This will log the event for you. The first argument will be your event name. So, event name. And the last two arguments will be what happens when the log event is successful and what happens when it fails. So we write hash table custom event hold data arrow curly brackets comma on failure arrow curly brackets. So in these sets of curly brackets will be what happens when the log event is successful. So you can write something like debug.log success, and you'll see that line in your console when the log event is successful. This one will be what happens on failure. Now, you can have just an event name and just know when that event happens, but you can also add parameters to your events. To do that, you can just overload this argument. So the second argument will now become the parameter name. The third argument will be your value. So, your value can be a string, a double, or a long. Let's just make this 1.4. Now, if you have multiple parameters that you want to log into one event, you can use a hash table to log it in for you. Here I've copied and pasted a hash table, and to log that, I will just input the name of the hash table instead of having a parameter name and value, and this will log it in for you. In MIKROS, every 10 logged events will cause the MIKROS SDK to flush them, so you can see them on your MIKROS dashboard. If you want to flush them earlier, you can write MIKROS manager.instance.analyticscontroller.flush events. This will flush them, so you can see them immediately on your MIKROS dashboard. Now this is another script that I wrote that has the method MIKROS manager.instance.analyticscontroller.logEvent go to credits, and on success it will run debug.log credits. So if I go to my game, check this, has that function. Play it. When I click on credits, you see that there's the credits. Events will not be logged or flushed in the editor, only when the project is built. So if you want to test out your events and see them on the MIKROS dashboard, you will have to build your project as an APK and run it on an emulator. Now here is an example of the events dashboard on MIKROS. As you can see here are the name of your events, how many times they've been triggered, and the amount of users that have triggered your event. If you go into one of these events by clicking on it, you can see the event name again, the app version, the SDK, and your custom parameter. Mine is time, pause, and start, and the values on each event. That will be all for custom events. Thank you for watching.